I was waiting a couple seconds. Because, you know, if you watch a live stream and you're just sitting there, it actually starts a couple seconds into it. That's why I was waiting. I didn't want to just hop into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Today, it's Wednesday.
We're going to talk about that empty thing.
We weren't. Oh, we can.
No,
I was going to take it down and put a frog tank here.
Good thing we've been heating it this whole time.
I unplugged the heater because I always have my window open, and it was raining, and it was really cold, so there was a bunch of condensation on the back of it, and the heater didn't turn off for like a couple hours, so I just unplugged it. What? So, yeah.
Frogs, fish, food.
Reptiles are definitely more expensive than fish. Depending on, well, I would say pretty much, yeah. Because you can get, like, cheap fish and then more expensive fish, like, if you choose to. Because, like, you can get a couple dollar guppies, or $25 a pair of guppies. Or, like, other, like, under $10 or under $20 fish. But there was this really cool Chahoua gecko, I think. And it's $1,200 for this tiny little thing. And most of the crested geckos that I was looking at Spa City Critters, they start at $75. So, like, that's kind of expensive. And then, like,
Kind of expensive.
well, leopard geckos.
There's a pleco. It's like $400 and some.
Well, it's plecos.
You never see them.
There's less types of reptiles, kind of. There's like a category. There's like spiders and there's snakes and then there's crested geckos and frogs and dart frogs, terrestrial frogs, whatever you call them. But with fish, there's guppies, there's cories, there's plecos, there's discus, there's cichlids, there's angelfish. There's tons of different categories. But if you want to,
tons of different categories in fish, snakes, frogs.
well, like subcategories, like, well, snakes are snakes. There's cheap ones and there are expensive ones because of different lines.
So there's just two snakes in the world, cheap ones and expensive ones?
Yeah, and then in between.
That's it. No poisonous, just cheap or inexpensive.
Cheap or inexpensive?
Yep.
That's the same thing. What I'm
Or
trying to
cheap or
say
expensive.
is there's snakes. And then there's like,
Snakes.
there's only a couple kinds of reptiles. You can only go so far with reptiles. With fish, there's tons of different species of things. But like with reptiles, if you go to the crested gecko category, they like start real expensive, like $40, $75-ish. They start at that price. But if you go to like corridors, you can find some that are $8 and some that are $500. But you can get the $8 one. You can't get an $8 crested gecko unless you find it on the street. The crested gecko, they start expensive and then they get expensive-er. Corridors, guppies, anything. You can get them cheaper. Like baby crested geckos, they're still kind of expensive. You can get baby cichlids for cheap.
Not any of they're worth of shit.
What do you mean? No. You can find a good deal. You can't find a good deal on anything reptile related. Except for the lady in Rochester.
What about the guy down in Redcall?
Schenectady?
It's like
Scotia?
$100 with the cat tank and the cage and the guy and the.
There's a lady in Schenectady that's giving away a ferret. And we went to Petco yesterday, and the ferrets are $402 a piece. You should have got the ferret the lady had. Fine, I'll scroll up so you can say hi to people.
Fair.
Yeah, ferret. Mystery Snail Guardians, welcome. Sandy Farrell, Harrison Tropicals. Yeah, ferret. I wanted a bunny because the people down the road, Amber and them, they have a bunch of bunnies. Their bunny just had babies. And, like, I could have a bunny if I wanted one. So like I could put a cage somewhere and have a bunny. And then it could run around my room when I have the door closed. It's the same thing as a ferret.
I wanted a brand new truck because this guy drove by the house one day. He had a brand new truck.
Why would you want a brand new truck? There's nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
know
your
why
truck.
you want a rabbit because someone down the road has a rabbit.
Plushy Aquatics, welcome. Bunny Viper. Stephen P. Scuba Stevo. The Nano Aquarium Guy. T-Bones Fishies. Crypt Keeper Aquatics. Brian, do you sell black worms, micro worms, scuds? What is the smallest quantity of black worms you sell? We don't sell black worms because we only have small cultures, like enough for our fish. We just get them from Eastern Aquatics. They're not a bad price. We have micro worms. Here, I'll list them off. We have scuds too, but we haven't bred those yet. So we do have the ones you listed, but we don't sell the black worms or the scuds yet. But we do have micro worms, banana worms, Walter worms. My Grindle worms are available now. They're just not on Get Gills. Vinegar eels. And those are the ones we have available. Then we have like reptile foods too. But those aren't for sale yet. I have to breed them. And then other ones, like other fish foods that we have. Like we have the scuds and we have the black worms and we have earthworms and stuff. But they're just small cultures. They're not enough to sell. But out of your list, I have micro worms. Peplin Creek Aquatics. Oh, darn it. Let me scroll back up now. Petroman, welcome. Matt, welcome. You could buy a ferret for $25 when I was a kid. My friend got a ferret like 8 years ago, and it like wasn't expensive at all. Now they're $402. Jimmy P, welcome. Jimmy P said, I'm really searching for a cheap gecko for my granddaughter if anyone can help.
So those guys ship J5 and
I don't know if J5 ships, but I know Christopher Spacity Critters. I know he ships. I don't know if he ships live like animals, but I know he does ship dry food, so it's worth asking him. Ferrets bite constantly. Bunnies are better.
She's just saying that because of her name. Hi, Matt.
Dave, are you alive?
Alishon.
Are you?
I don't know if she said.
Alisha?
I didn't know if you said hi.
I don't think so. All info on Fish Fam link. I don't know. Is all of my info on Fish Fam link?
Yes.
Is our Get Gills on there? Here, I'll check. Did I take chat away from you?
No, I have my phone.
No. Oh, I typed it in wrong. Oh, of course.
Yeah, I believe everything's in there. Haven't actually.
Whoa, look at me. Yeah, our Get Gills store is on there. Merchandise, Instagram, band, everything. Let me see what's on our Get Gills store. Yeah, so everything but the Grindle worms is on the Get Gills store because I didn't ask my mother to add them. I was just checking how much of everything was on there because I know somebody just ordered like packages of catappa leaves and root tabs.
No, you don't have to. One. You can just email us or whatever.
Yeah, you can email me.
Call
My
Facebook,
email's on there
I don't
too.
know.
You can email me if you'd like. Yeah. I have my email thing. I'm sure
I was gonna
everybody
say
knows
that's
it.
on.
I know you were probably gonna click it.
No. But it's on Fish Fan link too.
It is. What?
Chair went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they do better than the last one. The Macrostomas.
Yep.
We'll see. Time will tell.
I cleaned my room the other day.
Can't tell.
Ow! What do you mean you can't tell? Well, because they don't see my room. They just see my fish tanks and stuff that I clean too.
I go Dylan.
I don't care. You see that shelf over there? No, you don't. That one, right there. There's nothing on it. It was packed full of papers and everything, and I shoved all the papers into there. But I organized it so it's not. No, because
You can't see it, it's clean.
there was out of sight, out of mind. There was a bunch of stuff on these two shelves, and stuff was like overflowing in that cabinet. So I organized that cabinet so now there was more stuff. There was more room in there. So I took almost all the stuff from that shelf. I moved some of it downstairs because there was like some small dishes that I ended up using for like crickets and feeding bowls. And so I moved a bunch downstairs if it was fish stuff. And then I moved the rest into the cupboards. Now there's a couple things that I can take off.
So now I can't see it, so it's clean.
And yeah. And then I can use it for nothing. Right?
Left.
Center.
Mm.
Norgil, welcome. Yep. My mother's.
My finger's gonna be broke.
My mother's angels. I saw two of them fighting. One of them was like pushing the other one away. And today we saw a bunch of babies floating around near a piece of wood.
The new babies?
The bigger ones.
Yeah.
They've bred twice. There's some babies left in the 10-gallon bow front from their second spawn. But they bred in the tank. Where are you going to show the geckos and frogs?
And
What?
I think it was Jimmy asking about the geckos. Right? I don't know if I'd recommend Petco.
So,
We got two from Petco and one from
J5.
a breeder, and just huge difference.
If I go
Yes.
downstairs,
You pay a little more, but the quality is definitely there. Huge.
I'll go downstairs and I'll show the two tanks. There's two females in the bottom one. My mother was like, I want to breed them. So she's like, I'm looking for a male. And our friend Christopher, Spa City Aquatics, he was at a swap in New Hampshire, and he was taking pictures. We asked him to take pictures of like different frogs, like dart frogs and tomato frogs, all different ones. We found. I see your comment. Just sit there.
It's still pretty.
So he found these two really nice tomato frogs, but they were $200 a piece. So I was like, not now. I already have a tomato frog, but if you compare the two, like my father said, well, we got
We got the ones from our breeder.
we got our tomato frog from the breeder, but
the ones that were
these ones were like rarer.
the ones
so, like,
that were they were much rarer.
All of these like tomato frogs, I guess there's like different types in this tomato frog category, I guess. But these ones, they were big and they were round and they were all red. They were bright red. It's probably why they're $200. But ours was $40 and it was a baby, but you can compare and see how big he's gotten, and you can compare him to the $200 one. But yeah, if I go downstairs, actually I'll post the link. And my mother wanted to breed them, and like I said, Christopher was at the swap. That's where I got my Amazon milk frogs from. He got a male, and the male was $90, but the Petco ones were $40 a piece. You can definitely see them. I don't know if like the Petco ones.
He's way more active too.
Who?
Like they kind of
yeah.
hang out and hide. He definitely wanders around and sees what's going on. And
They stay at like one hide most of the time, and they're not all around the tank like he just said. This one, he'll be in his dish. He curled up in his mealworm dish this morning. But he actually explores, and he acts like a gecko. You can't pet him or anything because he goes after my mother's fingers. But you can definitely see it. And I didn't see it in the picture, but once we got him, I was like, yeah. So now she's looking for a new female. She found a female that she likes, but it's a temporary female, so he's like checking on him to make sure that it stays a female. But she's looking for a new female because, like, obviously she's not going to breed this Petco one with this nice one.
They started fighting, Christopher. I saw your comment. So we had to divide up the tank.
I shoved a road sign in there.
We still haven't got anything bigger for them. And I don't know if Christopher has what geckos he has. But I know he does have. He has a site, or J5 has a site.
J5 has a morph market. It's like reptile get gills. So if you search up like J5 geckos on morph market, you should probably find it. But yeah, that's morph market and geckos. That's like the equivalent. So Spa City, he might have a website, but I don't know if he lists his geckos on there. His Facebook page, he posts like some of his available geckos, but his album isn't updated yet. So if you're looking for something, you'd have to message him. Because we went to his house, and he's got racks and racks of just babies. Most of them are available. One of them that I kept looking at, I really liked it. That's the $1,200 one, of course.
Hey, Joe Stan.
He's got tarantulas too. I don't think he bred those. And he's got long waiting lists for his dirt frogs. Yeah.
I actually like the veil chameleons because they're slow and they kind of hang out.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
we found one.
Put them in your hand and they just kind of roam around.
We found them yesterday at Petco, but they weren't on sale, so they're $70. But the dude that we found on Facebook, I found on Facebook Marketplace, not Marketplace, like a Facebook group for selling reptiles. He's still got the whole setup, like the rep debris setup with the dripper and a bunch of decorations, and the veil chameleon for $125, which is pretty good because like the light that comes with it is $80, and then the chameleon $70, so that's $150 by itself. And Petroman, I don't think he has African fat-tailed geckos. I think he said he had leopard geckos, but he does a lot of crested geckos, chahua, gargoyle.
I didn't know if the other guy had them.
I know he does lychees. J5 might, I'm not sure. But all that he's got posted, all that J5 has posted, are like $200 leopard geckos. And he's got like one male on there. But I know he's got more stuff than that, so message him on Facebook. Here, I'll post the link for you.
Oh, good. I was just going to type that.
What happened to my enter key? I fixed it. If I go on YouTube, then I can pin it. Here we go.
You did it. You did it. Hooray.
Yay. David May. Welcome.
I'll go downstairs and show some of these things.
Do you want me to go down?
Yeah.
I could give them a live feeding. Or I could go down with you.
Alright, you go down. I'll sit on my ass.
Hey. You walked that far?
I did walk that far. I made it all the way to the door. I think she can let herself up. I'm not sure. Everything's broken. It's not showing anything. Can you hear me? Get the camera off. Huh. Let me get rid of this one. There.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Are you connected downstairs?
I am. But I signed out of my account so I can actually like leave the studio.
Okay.
Are you trying to figure out how to make me big?
Yeah.
Put the cursor. There you go. You got it.
What? Where?
No, you got it. You're doing good.
Oh, okay.
So first, I'll show the Petco ones. Definitely not getting a Petco Gecko again. I'll turn the lights on. So this is their tank. It's a 20 long. There's 2 of them in here. They're hiding. Hold on.
That's what I mean. Those are the ones from Petco. Now they hide a lot and they don't
Like
seem
the
to be
other-
as active.
The other dude's out right now. The one from J5. He's out right now. So
He's always out.
he is. Even at night, he just first night we got him, he laid on top of one of his basking rocks because we didn't have anything for him that day. We were going to Petco the next day to get supplies. This is one of them. This is the second one we got because it was still there when we went there a week later after getting the first one.
Hey, Keith.
So this is, I don't know their names, but this is the first one. Not a whole lot of color. Like I said, they're like $40 each.
I don't think you're going to see that one. Oh, there you go.
This is the first one she got. It's like, I don't know what you call it, like an albino-ish. And I've seen ones online that look similar to these that are more expensive just because their colors are like, and their patterns are like there more. This one, they're kind of dull. This whole thing's hollowed out, so that's good.
Wow. Showing us a 2x4.
I'm sorry, I had to put the thing back. But yeah, so those are the Petco ones. Obviously, they're small. And this one, yeah, let me turn the lights on. This one, the light doesn't stay. But just look at the difference. This one was $50 more than the Petco ones, but like my father said, you could see the quality. I don't know how well
Like, you probably can't see all of his colors here, but definitely way better. And this one's older, so it's obviously bigger, but I don't know. The tail is fatter. It's really nice. It's a small tail, but whatever. And yeah, he's not like, I wouldn't say he's aggressive. Oh, there we go. He's just a little. He comes after fingers, you know. Here, let me try and. There you go. I don't know how well you can hear me because like I put the phone in the tank.
Hey, Genevieve.
But yeah, so that's the one that we got from J5 that we had our friend Christopher's Boss City Critters pick up. He's got a nice tank. He's got the ones below them, the females. They have the same, like basking swimming thing. Theirs is just gray, but these two decorations, he's got his own. And then there's live plants in here. There's coconut fibers on one half of the tank, and then this is I wanted to call it's a moss pad. I'm gonna use some of this in my frog tank. It's like a Galapagos crash pad, mossy terrarium liner. And like it's good for a bunch of different reptiles. So I'm gonna use it for my tree frogs. But yeah, they have similar setups. It's just like switch. So coconut fibers, liner. And these guys have coconut fibers on this side and a different kind of liner on that side. So
Hey, Lefty.
I'll turn his light off because there's two different bulbs in them. They're both like safe for the geckos, but this one gets hotter and this won't stay up. Now mine, I needed it at an angle, so I tied a bungee cord to it, and then I put the bungee cord over here, so it's not going anywhere anymore. And then these are my cultures. I'm gonna set the phone down real quick so I can grab them. But I'll set it so you can see the gecko.
He's like, hey.
What'd you say?
He's like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab the culture so I can show them to you. We went to Petco yesterday so I could grab some more like mealworms and crickets, and I got some more roaches too. I'll probably show those. You know, so if people want to leave before I show the roaches, I'll let you know. But I've wanted dubia roaches for a long time, but now that we actually have like we have 2 types of frogs and 3 geckos. So it's not like a ton of reptiles, but enough where all the reptiles we have will eat the dubia roaches. So there you go. That's him. Oh, here he comes. So I have these 3 bins. These don't have roaches or anything. So I have these 2 types of tweezers. I'm actually going to talk about these for just a second. These ones I got from a dude that was getting rid of most of his tanks. These are Fluval, I think. Yeah, that's Fluval. These are nice if you're picking up like mealworms because mealworms don't run away. But these ones were from Aquarium Co-op. And these ones are a lot better because they're like angled and they work great for picking up crickets and dubia roaches and stuff. But,
Close, Terry, close. And
huh?
hello. I said close, Terry, and hello. He said dubia roaches.
Oh. So this first container, I have it marked as mealworms, but these are mostly pupa. There's one mealworm right over there. But it's warmer in the basement, so I let them pretty much convert almost all of them into pupa. There's a couple. Like those are pupa. And some of them are still mealworms, which are what we've been feeding. But I think I got 150 mealworms yesterday, so we can feed those while these turn into beetles and I breed the beetles. But yeah, so this is my mealworm / pupa bucket. And these buckets are really nice. We got five more of them, so that means we have 22 total. They're really nice. They're a Sterilite or like an off-brand Sterilite shoebox. Oh, it's actually a Sterilite.
Yeah, it actually says it's Sterling.
Well, the box is like, I think they said True Living. It was like a True Living box, but I think the lids are Sterilite, so whatever. They're like $2 a piece. And I think Christopher keeps his like baby geckos that he's grown out. He has like hundreds of these. And I think he grows them out in similar boxes. So these are the mealworm pupa. These are more. Oh, there's actually beetles in there. So I have to get the beetle thing set up now. I didn't even realize that they're beetles. But so that's awesome actually. And normally I have a bunch of them separated right now in a different container that I'll show in a minute. Because sometimes the beetles will eat the pupa, but in this case I'm not worried about that because I have like a couple hundred more pupa in this bin. And these guys are nowhere near beetle stage, so those are the darkling beetles. So I'm gonna put these in a bin later. So hold on, there's some stuck under. There we go. I'm gonna put these guys in a bin later so that they can reproduce when they're bigger. So that's awesome that there's beetles. I think this one didn't make. Oh, never mind, he did. So yeah, that's what a mealworm beetle looks like. Yep, they're small. They're really small. It's funny because I heard the motorcycle going across by our house, and then I heard it on your screen or your whatever you call it. So yeah, those are the beetles. So that's awesome. And I don't know if I'll be able to find any isopods in here, just because they're small and they hide really well. Might be under this cork bark. Yep, there you go. Those are the isopods. And now I had a whole bag of this sphagnum moss, but it disappeared, so I don't know where it went. I'll have to get more. This is my little setup. I sprayed it down real quick. So those are my isopods. I want to get a couple different kinds because I've been looking at the zebra isopods and they're really cool. It's one of the Synodontis. So I'm gonna set this over the tank again while I put these back. So these are just some of our cultures that I've made in the past week or so. Just because we started off just with the tomato frog and we had like, I think I bought a pack of 500 big mealworms at the Reptile Expo. I bought like 500 of them because I want to have enough for a really long time. But then we ended up getting the 2 Petco geckos, and just last week when we didn't have any power, so I think it was like exactly a week ago, or no, it's like a little bit more than a week. We got
power was a while ago. Phone and internet was last week, right?
well, yeah. I didn't mean power. I meant phone and internet. But I think last Sunday is when we picked up these guys. Well, the gecko and the 3 Amazon milk frogs. And I believe it was a week ago, Wednesday, is when we got the 3 more milk frogs because I lost one of them and got out. But things happen. So these are the 2 tanks. These are the 3 cultures I just showed you with the beetles. And these ones are all pupa. The one that says mealworms is mostly pupa, and then a couple mealworms. This is mostly pupa. Some beetles. And there's isopods. So.
Frogs.
Yep, I'll show the frogs. So yeah, here's well, I'll show the crickets. Well, just the container. So we have a 10-gallon right here that has about 90 crickets. I'm not gonna open it or anything, but 90 crickets. These ones are females, they're mostly hiding. But this is how I'm trying to breed them. It's how I read you're supposed to breed them. So I'm gonna come to the other side so I can show the tomato frog. And then I'll go back to the other side to show the milk frogs.
Hey, 3G.
So the tomato frog, he's right there. He's gotten really big. Oh, there you go. That's a better view. I'll look at him.
It's like on my camera.
So he doesn't move much. But yeah, if I had the picture, I'd like to show you guys maybe next time. The $200 ones were so much different from him. He has an all yellowish orange back, and then the rest of his body's dark gray blackish. But these ones were they were literally a tomato. They were so round and they were completely red. So.
Well, he's young too.
Huh?
That one's young too. The other ones were adults.
Oh yeah, this one's gotten really big though, so that's awesome. So don't mind this tank. This is the Amazon milk frog tank. It's all right. I forgot to put their cork bark back after I changed their water this morning, but it doesn't look as good as it did when I first set it up because I first set it up with coconut fibers. But like I said last stream, every time the frogs would go to eat the coconut fibers, they would get a mouthful of them and then they would miss their food like the cricket. So I changed it to paper towels, but I'm gonna change it to a moss like this. This is a little hanging basket that I'm probably gonna put in my next terrarium. Yeah, that's one of them. This is another one. I'm not gonna look for all of them because I know one of them's under a leaf. But yeah, there's 4 of them in here, so I got 6 of them. 3 of them and 3 of them. I lost one of them, so that's hopping around the fisher. And there's 4 in here, and then there's 1 in this 10-gallon. He actually came out of his moss cup. So this one, I redid his tank today. He had a big piece of cork bark, but I changed it out for a little coconut hut, a palm tree. I replaced his paper towels because I literally dumped a whole bowl of water on them. That happened in the main tank too. That's why there's a blue paper towel in there. But there he is. He's smaller than the other ones and he's skinnier. So, well, he was getting skinnier, but he's getting bigger now. So I took him out just to monitor him. So I kept him in this little 10-gallon. Because that's what Chris has, he had 9 of them in a 10-gallon. So 1 of them in a 10-gallon's all right for now. And I don't know if people want to see the dubia roaches, but I'll show the other cultures first. So over here, well, I got a really good deal on this cork bark, both of these pieces. But I took them out of both the terrariums right now because I'm just experimenting right now. The cork bark, one of these pieces, will go back in their tank. That's a 20 high. it'll go back in there once I'm done messing around. Putting down, like, trying out different substrates. But I have extra stuff for more cultures. Then here I have separated pupa. So their little moss thing fell out. That's, well, not moss thing, filter floss thing. That's what keeps them aerated. And these are baby angelfish, I think.
I think so.
What'd you say?
Those are angelfish coming upstairs or downstairs.
I think they're angelfish from here. Because they had a bunch of babies, but now they're not fighting anymore. So I think, yeah, these look like the angelfish babies. Because I can't imagine they're anything else. Because the only thing else, what the? Okay, the only other thing is small
They're
babies.
the ones downstairs.
Yeah, I know.
Your mother just said that.
Well, I knew they were from downstairs. They're from those ones. So the only other thing that would have babies that small is like Carensis or something. This is the last batch of babies that they had. There's an albino one. Well, not albino, a yellow one. The first batch that they had, there's also a yellow one. But so yeah, a little bit more about this tank, I guess. Like I said, I used to have coconut fibers in the bottom, and it looked really nice. I don't know if I'll put them back in there. Well, maybe try something else instead of coconut fibers. Maybe try a bioactive setup. I don't know. But I ended up putting the plants in this styrofoam cup for now, and then there's a succulent in the pot it came in. There's another one of them. Yeah. So this tank is in rough shape right now, but the frogs are happier because they're not eating mouthfuls of dirt. I'm gonna figure out something else for the water bowl and something else for the substrate. Whether I get all white paper towels or if I do the green moss, it'll be something else other than coconut fibers or, something that looks nice because what I did there does not look nice. So these are some of my cultures. Brindle worms. I don't know how many worms have come up yet. But this is my worm culture. Well, brindle worms. This one is banana worms. This one's doing really good.
Wow.
Yeah, I noticed that, so I came over here. This one's Walter worms. There's some on the side. I have to add more oatmeal to that one. This one's micro worm. And you can see I have the same containers as reptile foods. I had my father drill a bunch of holes in the side, and I covered them up. Well, my mother and I covered them up. So the fish cultures have gray lids, and then right now all of the reptile foods have green lids. This one, the holes aren't covered because these are dubia roaches. These are baby ones. I just got these ones. That's not gonna focus. Oh, there you go. So, I'm gonna show the baby ones. Well, I just showed the baby ones. I'm not gonna show the adult ones because they creep me out too. But the adult ones are just for breeding right now. Like if we had something like a bearded dragon, I could feed the adult ones to the bearded dragon. But this guy, he'd eat the small ones that I just showed you. But most of the time, last time when I fed him dubia roaches, yesterday, I think, he got a medium-sized one about that big. Oh, he's beautiful. I really like him. And like I said, like, you can see the definite, like, difference between the Petco ones and this guy. He's just so much more beautiful. And even though he was expensive, it's worth it. Like, if you're gonna breed something and you want to like sell them and make decent money, then get a good gecko or get a good anything. Like, get good quality. He's following my finger right now. But
Stick in my finger.
like, get a good quality anything if you want to breed them. Even with guppies too, get them from like a good breeder. But this one came straight from the breeder. Like the Petco ones, obviously they came from like wholesaler. But yeah, hopefully we can find a female that's of similar size and a similar temperament. But if you're gonna get into breeding them, definitely get a good one. Now I've never had Amazon milk frogs before this, or like any other kind of Amazon milk frogs, so I can't really compare the milk frogs. And I've compared the tomato frog, but I don't know if that's a different species than the other ones that I've saw. It probably is because the other ones, they were rarer ones, so that's probably why they're more expensive. And I found like adult tomato frogs for sale for like $80. So yeah. So I'm gonna go up now because it's 8 minutes, so we have to end it. But there's all the reptiles that we have right now. Amazon milk frogs, tomato frog. Tomato frog has the most plants. That's kind of just, he was our first reptile, so I bought a bunch of plants while we were there. But also, I put extra plants in there too. So Amazon milk frogs, tomato frog, 2 Petco geckos, and this guy. So I'm gonna come up now. Bye, everyone.
Oh, good. I thought I had to press the button. I didn't have to do nothing. I like that.
That's my seat.
Now it isn't.
So, yep. The adult dubia roaches, they are scary. I don't like them. I don't trust them because somewhere online said that they can fly. But they've never flew for like Christopher or anything, so I don't think they actually fly, but the males do have wings, so that kind of creeps me out. And when they roll over on their backs, they have a bunch of legs and they just like kick them all around. They're kind of nasty, but I think Christopher said 1 dubia roach is equivalent to the protein count in like 12 mealworms. So they're good for the reptiles. I'll do it. Same with switching out the coconut fibers. Like, it's better for the frogs. When will snakes become part of the whatever this is? I don't know how to read. My mother really does not like snakes. Snakes are cool. She doesn't like them. Same with tarantulas and stuff. I don't think we're ever going to have those either. But my sister doesn't like them. That's funny because we were over at Christopher's house and there was a closet in there and it was all full of snakes. My mother wouldn't go in there. And then my sister wouldn't look at the tarantulas and he's like, normally, I forget what he said, but like, it's weird that one person doesn't like snakes, one person doesn't like tarantulas. I'm cool with it all. I think they're all cool. The lychees were definitely really cool because he had a big log that had an opening on one end, pork hide. And there's this giant lychee, female lychee in there, and we could pet it and everything. And I was like, that would be awesome to have. And his bearded dragon was cool too. I think bearded dragons are cool anyways. My cousin had a bearded dragon for a while when I was little. And he was definitely really cool. Is Matt going live today?
I don't know. I was just trying to look that up on Fish Fam. I didn't get there yet. I didn't see anything for Matt.
Oh. But definitely his Christopher's fish room, reptile room, sorry, is better than better than any of reptile rooms that I've seen, or even fish rooms. I think it's laid out better, and it's amazing because like his reptile room is probably a little bit bigger than my room. Now my room looks big because there's 2 big tanks back there, but I think it's 10 by 11, 10 foot by 11, so it's like a little cubicle. But his room is a little bit bigger, but he's got everything packed in, and it doesn't look crammed, which is what's nice. It looks like it's all meant to be there. And he's got videos on his Facebook page, but I really like how he laid it out with his grow bins. And that's where there's a lot of difference between fish and reptiles. Because, like with fish, if you want to grow them out, some people do them in tubs, but you have to have heat and air, unless you're heating the room. But you have to have heat and air in like the tubs or tanks that you grow them out with. But Christopher, he does all of his tanks room temperature. He doesn't heat any of them except for the bearded dragon and the tortoise. He had a tortoise too. He only heats those 2 tanks, but he's got lights individually on all the tanks. And he had 2 giant racks with like 50 shoebox tubs in each of them, which I thought was really cool. Because you can like pull out the tubs and look at the babies. There's only 1 baby in each tub, but it was definitely really cool to go there. And I'd love to go there again. But I definitely think the crested geckos are cool. I've seen a couple really cool ones online. I think the crested geckos are cool. My father likes the veil chameleons. I like the color changing one. I think they're the panther chameleons. But there's a lady at the reptile expo. She had this really colorful chameleon. She just had it in her hand. She was walking around with it, which I thought was awesome. But
I don't know. Is Matt not going tonight? Does anyone know? I didn't see anything. I didn't see any posts.
maybe he's like me.
I didn't see. Or I just didn't get them.
Here.
Like usual, I'll get a notification 10 minutes after he starts.
Yeah, he's not scheduled for today.
Your mother didn't find anything for Matt. Me neither. What'd you look under?
She went to Liquid Zoo.
Oops. I just went to Liquid Zoo too.
So Bob Kaler will be live in about a minute, so we're gonna end it. Thank you all for coming and checking out our reptiles and everything.
The Jackson chameleons are cool.
I think I've seen them, but I've seen the panther chameleons and the veil chameleons more. But thank you all so much for coming, and I hope you all have a great week.
Bye everyone. Catch y'all in the next stream.
On Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Sunday.